Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Carper, and welcome to our witnesses. As the chairman has said, our hearing serves as the committee's official kickoff for the development of the Water Resources Development WRDA of 2024. Since 2014, this committee has kept to the biennial schedule of passing bipartisan legislation that authorizes water resources, studies, and projects, and also sets our national policies for the Civil Works program of the U.S. Corps of Engineers. I look forward to continuing this track record for next year. This hearing will provide us with an on-the-ground perspectives from a diverse group of stakeholders who understand how this legislation advances water resources projects across our country. At prior hearings, my colleagues and I have heard me describe the successes of our most recent water resources legislation of WRDA 2022. So I won't belabor that point, but instead simply remind my colleagues that WRDA 2022 authorized a significant number of new projects and studies, made important modifications to existing projects, and included several important policy changes that will help the Corps better succeed in the Civil Works programs. The legislation also included a number of provisions that are important to my home state of West Virginia. These provisions will facilitate critical flood risk management projects and environment infrastructure projects across the state. The staff at the Corps and the Assistant Secretary's office are hard at work implementing the provisions of prior WRDA legislation, and I want to thank them for their tireless efforts. Last week, Chairman Carper and I sent a letter to our Senate colleagues soliciting requests for WRDA 2024. I look forward to reviewing the proposals for the committee's consideration in the coming months. We always want to listen to what our Senate colleagues and how they're feeling about this. As we shared with our colleagues, we do not anticipate that WRDA 2024 will be a policy-heavy bill. Instead, the bill will focus on authorizing new or modifying existing studies and projects, as well as making needed technical changes to prior provisions in order to reflect the intent of Congress. This limited scope will enable the Corps to fully implement the provisions of prior WRDA legislation and help ensure that the agency can be responsive to the water resources needs of all communities. As I have said previously, it is important that any WRDA bill supports the timely and efficient delivery of water resources projects while continuing to meet our national priorities. Flexibility is key to ensuring that the Corps can identify and carry out solutions that are tailored to address the needs of each community. Our nation's water resources challenges are diverse, and communities know more about their unique needs than the policymakers here in Washington, D.C. We must also continue to preserve the role of non-federal sponsors in the project delivery process and maintain the Corps focus on its three primary missions: navigation, flood and coastal storm risk management, and aquatic ecosystem restoration. Last month, the committee held a hearing on one of those missions, aquatic ecosystem restoration. At the hearing, we heard from non-federal sponsors about 3 ongoing or completed aquatic ecosystem restoration project. That's a lot to say in one little thing. Our witnesses' project-specific stories helped us understand how we can balance our water resources needs and maximize the use of taxpayer dollars. I look forward to continuing that dialogue. Today, we will discuss 4 projects in 2 other primary mission areas: navigation and flood and coastal storm risk management. The projects highlighted at our hearings last month and today collectively showcase the Corps' really wide-ranging portfolio of projects and their overall value to our nation. In my opinion, these projects demonstrate the different needs across the country and why maintaining a balance across all of the Corps' main missions is so very important. While aquatic ecosystem restoration projects produce many benefits, the importance of flood and risk storm management projects and navigation projects cannot be understated, certainly in my region of the country for sure, so we're right on that Ohio River. The protection of life and property while bolstering our economy must continue to be prioritized as the Corps develops and executes projects. We also hear about the successes that are possible when the Corps and non-federal sponsors work collaboratively to find innovative solutions. Insight from completed and ongoing projects is important to informing what, if any, modifications are needed to the Corps' existing authorities in future WRDA legislation. I'm hopeful that we can take the lessons learned from the projects discussed today and use them to advance water resource projects of all types across the country. As I've said previously, the work of the Corps is more critical now than ever. testimony we will hear will help this committee as it continues its integral role in improving our nation's infrastructure. Mr. Chairman, I look forward to not saying aquatic ecosystem restoration projects. Mr. Chairman, I do look forward to continuing our partnership on this important legislation, and I yield back my time.